In the first chapter of Dare to Lead, Brené Brown introduces the concept of a moment and the critical, make or break moments that leaders face on a regular basis. These moments can be small, such as a difficult conversation with a team member, or large, such as a major business decision. Brown argues that how leaders handle these moments is key to their success. However, she also notes that there are many myths and misconceptions about what it means to be a good leader. For example, many people believe that leaders are born, not made, or that leaders must be strong, invulnerable, and always in control. Brown argues that these myths are not only untrue, but also harmful. They can prevent people from developing their leadership skills and can create a toxic work environment. Instead, Brown suggests that effective leaders must be willing to be vulnerable, to take risks, and to learn from their mistakes. She notes that vulnerability is often seen as a weakness, but in fact it is a strength that allows leaders to connect with their team members and build trust. Brown also emphasizes the importance of empathy and compassion in leadership. She notes that leaders who are able to understand and connect with their team members on a deeper level are more effective at creating a positive and supportive work environment. Throughout the chapter, Brown draws on her own research as well as insights from other leaders to illustrate her points. She shares personal anecdotes and practical examples to help readers understand the concepts she discusses. Overall, the first chapter of Dare to Lead sets the stage for the rest of the book. It establishes the importance of vulnerability, empathy, and compassion in leadership, and challenges readers to rethink their preconceptions about what it means to be a good leader. It also provides a framework for understanding the critical moments that leaders face, and emphasizes the importance of being prepared to handle them with courage and authenticity. In Chapter 2 of Dare to Lead, Brené Brown discusses the concept of courage and its importance in leadership. She argues that courage is not just about heroic acts or big gestures, but about the willingness to be vulnerable and take risks in the face of uncertainty. Brown notes that many people equate courage with fearlessness, but in fact, true courage requires acknowledging and facing one's fears. She emphasizes that leaders must be willing to step outside their comfort zone, take risks, and be vulnerable in order to achieve their goals. Brown also discusses the role of shame in leadership. She notes that shame is often a barrier to courage, as it can prevent people from taking risks and being vulnerable. She suggests that leaders must be willing to confront their shame and vulnerability in order to develop the courage needed to lead effectively. Throughout the chapter, Brown provides practical tools and strategies for developing courage as a leader. She notes that courage is a skill that can be developed through practice and repetition, and provides examples of how leaders can incorporate courageous behavior into their daily routines. Brown also emphasizes the importance of cultivating a culture of courage in the workplace. She notes that leaders who model courageous behavior and create a safe environment for their team members to take risks and be vulnerable are more likely to foster innovation, creativity, and productivity. Overall, Chapter 2 of Dare to Lead provides readers with a framework for understanding the role of courage in leadership. It challenges readers to confront their fears and vulnerabilities, and provides practical tools and strategies for developing courage as a skill. By emphasizing the importance of creating a culture of courage, Brown encourages leaders to not only develop their own courage, but to foster it in their teams as well. In Chapter 3 of Dare to Lead, Brené Brown discusses the concept of the armory as the metaphorical armor that people use to protect themselves from vulnerability and shame. Brown notes that the armory is often seen as a necessary tool for survival in the workplace, but argues that it can actually prevent people from being effective leaders. Brown identifies several common forms of armory, including perfectionism, cynicism, and numbing behaviors such as overworking or overeating. She notes that these behaviors may seem like coping mechanisms, but in fact they can prevent people from building authentic connections with their team members and hinder their ability to lead effectively. Brown also discusses the role of vulnerability in leadership. She notes that vulnerability is often seen as a weakness, but in fact it is a key component of authentic leadership. Leaders who are willing to be vulnerable and take risks are more likely to connect with their team members and create a supportive work environment. Throughout the chapter, Brown provides practical tools and strategies for dismantling the armory and developing vulnerability as a leader. She suggests that leaders must be willing to acknowledge their own vulnerabilities and encourage their team members to do the same. This can be achieved through practices such as setting clear expectations, providing feedback, and creating a culture of trust and support. Brown also emphasizes the importance of self-awareness in leadership. She notes that leaders who are aware of their own vulnerabilities and triggers are better equipped to manage them and prevent them from interfering with their ability to lead effectively. Overall, Chapter 3 of Dare to Lead provides readers with a framework for understanding the role of vulnerability in leadership and the harmful effects of the armory. By providing practical tools and strategies for developing vulnerability as a skill, Brown challenges readers to rethink their preconceptions about what it means to be a strong leader. She encourages leaders to be self-aware, to acknowledge their vulnerabilities, and to cultivate a culture of trust and support in the workplace. Chapter 4 of Dare to Lead by Brené Copyright Brown is focused on the topics of shame and empathy in leadership. Brown argues that shame is a pervasive and destructive force in many workplaces, and that leaders must develop empathy in order to combat it. Brown begins by defining shame as the belief that one is inherently flawed or unworthy of love and belonging. She notes that shame can be triggered by a variety of factors, including feedback or criticism from others, and that it can prevent people from taking risks or speaking up in the workplace. Brown then discusses the role of empathy in leadership. She defines empathy as the ability to understand and share the feelings of others, and notes that it is a key component of effective leadership. Leaders who are empathetic are better able to build relationships with their team members, create a supportive work environment, and address issues such as shame and vulnerability. Throughout the chapter, Brown provides practical tools and strategies for developing empathy as a leader. She notes that empathy can be developed through practices such as active listening, perspective-taking, and open communication. She also emphasizes the importance of vulnerability and authenticity in building empathy, as these traits can help leaders to connect with their team members on a deeper level. Brown also discusses the importance of creating a culture of empathy in the workplace. She notes that leaders who model empathetic behavior and create a safe environment for their team members to share their experiences and feelings are more likely to foster innovation, creativity, and productivity. Overall, Chapter 4 of Dare to Lead provides readers with a framework for understanding the role of shame and empathy in leadership. By emphasizing the harmful effects of shame and the importance of empathy, Brown challenges readers to rethink their approach to leadership and provides practical tools and strategies for developing empathy as a skill. She encourages leaders to be vulnerable and authentic, to listen actively and communicate openly, and to cultivate a culture of empathy in the workplace. In Chapter 5 of Dare to Lead, Brené Copyright Brown focuses on the importance of curiosity and grounded confidence in effective leadership. She notes that leaders who cultivate these traits are better able to navigate uncertainty and change, build strong relationships with their team members, and create a culture of innovation and growth. Brown begins by defining curiosity as a willingness to ask questions, seek out new information, and challenge one's assumptions. She notes that curiosity is a key component of effective leadership, as it allows leaders to learn from their mistakes, explore new ideas, and stay engaged with their team members. Brown also discusses the importance of grounded confidence in leadership. She defines grounded confidence as a sense of self-assurance that is rooted in competence and self-awareness. Leaders who are grounded in their confidence are better able to take risks, make difficult decisions, and inspire their team members to do the same. Throughout the chapter, Brown provides practical tools and strategies for developing curiosity and grounded confidence as a leader. She notes that curiosity can be developed through practices such as active listening, seeking out diverse perspectives, and asking open-ended questions. Grounded confidence, on the other hand, can be developed through practices such as self-reflection, seeking feedback from others, and acknowledging one's limitations and strengths. Brown also emphasizes the importance of vulnerability in cultivating curiosity and grounded confidence. She notes that leaders who are willing to acknowledge their mistakes and learn from them are better able to build trust with their team members and create a culture of growth and innovation. Overall, Chapter 5 of Dare to Lead provides readers with a framework for understanding the importance of curiosity and grounded confidence in effective leadership. By providing practical tools and strategies for developing these traits, Brown challenges readers to rethink their approach to leadership and to cultivate a culture of growth and innovation in their organizations. She encourages leaders to be curious and open-minded, to be grounded in their confidence, and to embrace vulnerability as a means of building trust and fostering innovation.